Welcome back to this episode of Beyond Credit. On this episode, we have Mr. Surprise on Live himself, Chad's Money Minutes. Chad's pretty well known in the credit card community on YouTube for his Chad's Perspective videos, as well as his off unannounced lives. Chad also lives in the same city as me, and he was kind enough to invite me to his workplace to conduct this interview. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Chad, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm pretty good. This is round 2 for us.
Yeah.
We did this last week. Unfortunately, we did it at a playground, and we learned that it's a great place, for me to find employees. Not such a great place to do an interview.
This is true. And the trains and
the trains and some random bell. I don't even know what it was. But all right, so Chad, looking through my notes, you are a man of many talents. I learned about you that you used to sell insurance. Mm-hmm. You worked as a prison guard. You climbed poles for AT&T. Mm-hmm. And now you do medical record software and software development.
That's correct.
So walk us through that, man. How did you make those transitions to end up where you are now?
Well, I have a problem with really being in one place at one time. And then also with advancement, I always am looking for the next challenge. So definitely working at the prison was very dynamic, but then it came to a point where, officer safety came into the mix, and I decided that, maybe I should go elsewhere because one of the things when you're there is like, one of the worst things you can do is get somebody else hurt. Mm-hmm. Most people would think the worst thing you can do is either hurt someone or hurt yourself. It doesn't. It just doesn't hit the same knowing that, me and Richie are walking a turn together. Something happened to him and I was unable to, or maybe even because of my carelessness, caused you to get hurt. So I decided that, I wanted to see different parts of life, and I moved on from that. I was always somebody who kept the ace in the hole. So even though I was in law enforcement, I always studied things other than law enforcement because you can get hurt at any time. So I wanted to have fallback talent, and that's how I got into IT, and then that helped me get with AT&T, and then I love money, so I learned insurance. And then I ended up here. Doing this and doing my consulting.
All right. So talking about people getting hurt, mm-hmm. You have a pretty interesting story from your time as a prison guard.
Oh, yes. I can't say the name, but one of the wildest things I've ever seen is actually I saw a man excise one of his reproductive organs in front of me with a razor. There is a tremendous amount of blood that comes out. He actually, while he was still conscious, was able to actually take it out of its carrying case. And so I've seen one still attached to the running car, and it was all about a transfer. It was all game in the system. Honestly, this guy, he just went further than anyone I've ever seen. He has the kind of dedication that if he was that dedicated to not going to prison, it probably would work out better.
Dedicated or desperation, something, man. I don't know if there's anything that I would want so badly.
It was horrendous.
Okay. So what's something cool about yourself? Maybe like a stupid human trick, hidden talent that the audience would be surprised to know about you.
A hidden talent? People say I'm pretty decent at impressions.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't think I'm decent at impressions at all. It's kind of like a thing that happens, but I can't really think of anything. To be honest with you, I'm a total history nerd.
Oh, yeah.
I never wear matching socks. That is a thing. I think I showed that on Spencer Johnson's live. Literally, anytime you see me, I'm never wearing matching socks, and if I am, there's a huge problem. But other than that, I don't know. I'm just kind of...
Is there a story behind the sock thing? Is there a reason you do that?
Actually, before I used to wear I worked at the prison. I used to always wear black cotton socks. That was a part of our uniform, literally. If you went and you didn't have black socks on, you could get in trouble. Mm. And for so long, I was like my dress for work was always chosen for me. Once I got out of that, actually a trainer at AT&T, he had these very bright, colorful, vibrant socks. And I was like, wow. So I started wearing socks and custom socks. And I've been to places like Sock City in Park City, Utah. I've been to custom sock stores. So that's how that started. And then it was just like, let me put a chat twist on it. And what happened was I was actually rushing out of the house one day, thought I grabbed two of the same socks. I didn't. And then boom, I had matching. Somebody noticed that my socks weren't matching. And then let's just run.
And then it's stuck. What do you got on now?
Well, right now, matter of fact, here we go. I got on, what is this? Sunday socks. And the other one is just a striped sock. So just in case anyone's curious, I'll let me kick them up here. There they go. But yeah, so at all times, my socks are not matching. And I've even come up with the saying, it's okay for life to be boring. There's no reason for it to be boring from head to toe.
There you go. I like it. Okay, so let's go on to the Sunday football sock there. It's got the little football on it. We'll go into our rapid fire questions.
Okay.
All right, I'm just going to real quick ask you what your favorite something is, and don't think, just spit out your answer.
Absolutely.
All right. Favorite sports team?
The Eagles.
Favorite band or musician?
John Legend.
Favorite song?
Right now it's I can't remember the name of the song. I know the song, but I can't remember the name.
Is it by John Legend?
No, actually, it's not. It's actually by the Migos. My 2-year-old hit the home pod, and the song just came on. It's actually kind of catchy. Oh, I Need It by the Migos.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Life.
Favorite book?
Favorite book? 48 Laws of Power.
Favorite food?
Pizza.
Favorite vacation spot?
Favorite vacation spot had to be the Park Hyatt in New York City.
All right. Favorite card issuer?
I'm sorry?
Favorite card issuer?
Credit One.
Credit.
And
you're fired. And you're fired. Okay, favorite thing to do on a lazy Sunday afternoon?
Chill out and play PS5.
I like it. Favorite video game?
Diablo 4.
Diablo 4. All right, let's go back to the pizza thing. Pineapple, yes or no?
God, no.
What's your favorite topping?
Just cheese. I'm plain.
Just cheese? No pepperoni?
No.
Wow.
I'm plain Jane.
All right. So you are a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
You play PS5 and Diablo 4 is your big thing right now?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You used to play Modern Warfare, right?
Yes, I had an unholy addiction to Modern Warfare.
But that's kind of fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, I've now with the way games are set up, you kind of sort of need a college degree to play them. Back in the day, you would get your cartridge. You know, I had Super Nintendo, so I'm dating myself here. I had Super Nintendo, you get your cartridge, there was a little book of the game, this is how you play, good luck. And then, if it didn't work, you blow in the cartridge, hide it, cool it in the cartridge, hide it in this console, and then you go. But now it's like with the downloadable content, entire Discord, YouTube channels set up to, like, I only have time to play one game at a time.
Yeah.
I was into Destiny, like, heavy. And then I went back to Call of Duty, and now I'm in Diablo 4.
Nice. So, talking about dating yourself,
Mm-hmm.
I'm 1 year older than you. I was born in 1980, late 1980,
Mm-hmm.
which means you were born in 81, right?
82.
82,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Do you consider yourself Gen X or Millennial?
I think, honestly, I would want to say a bit of both, because the odd thing is that when we were born, we experienced a lot of things that the newer generation doesn't. We know what we instantly know what a phone book is.
Yeah.
We're not panicked by a rotary phone.
Right.
We know what an actual phone book is.
Right.
We had CD books. We had photo albums. We knew what it was that when we took a picture, we had to wait to see the picture.
Right.
We predate camera phones. Like, a lot of stuff that people take for granted now, some people have never seen. I was actually just having some talks with some people in the office, and I work with people who were born in 2001.
It's insane, isn't it?
And when I think of 20 years ago, I think it's 1980.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it's not.
You work with people born in a different millennium.
Yes, that is Yeah, so I mean, is there like a combination of Gen X and
There actually is. So from 1977 to 1983, it's called Xennial, Xennial.
Well, then that's right.
So that's, yeah.
We saw the advent of the internet.
We know what it was like to have to duck underneath a phone line when somebody was talking on the phone and stretching it across 2 rooms.
Absolutely.
You're talking about the cameras. You remember the disposable cameras you would go pick up at Walgreens or wherever? And then, wait however long to see the pictures.
Yep. Absolutely.
We had it hard. Dial up.
Yep. Dial up.
And if somebody picked up the phone, you just got booted off the internet.
Done. There was no downloadable content. You actually had to eat without being able to take a picture of your food first. There's no social media. Social media was literally a yearbook.
Yeah.
That was social media. That was it.
Yep.
And you had to go outside and breathe air with actual people in the sunlight in order to see them.
Yeah.
That was it.
Driving your car, and if you wanted to switch the music, you had to dig through that thick CD book that was in the passenger seat or wherever it was while you're trying to drive. Yep.
The ballers had CD changers, so they would have one.
Yeah.
I had CD changer.
I was not a baller. Well, okay. You had a CD changer.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a CD? Was that in your Acura?
No, I actually had a Maxima before that.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a Maxima, and I had like my whole little setup, but the CD changer didn't come with me because something happened to it.
Okay.
Because it even had a remote and everything. Because I got it from a buddy of mine. It was just hand-me-down, so I got it for a decent price. And then with the Acura, I didn't have the CD changer and just a regular head unit.
Do you want to tell the story of the Acura?
The Acura?
The worst financial decision of your life?
Oh, the Acura. The Acura ended just as badly as it started. That being is that as a young man of, I believe I was 19, I was totally into the Fast and Furious, and I had a Maxima beforehand, a family sedan that made a whopping 160 horsepower at the flywheel, which put me at just about 100 at the wheel. So in other words, I could not keep up with Honda Civics, Acura Integras, Honda Preludes, Toyota Celicas. So I was driving by a car dealership, and for no reason whatsoever, except for maybe the devil whispering in my ear, I wanted to go check out a car. And there she was, 1995, all black, GSR, which had the VTEC in it, which everyone thought was like akin to a turbo. But now that I have the sense that God gave a goat, I realized it's just a dual cam motor. But it was like, at the time, like this thing, it was untouched, unmodified. It was a find. But I had no credit. Yeah, I started learning about credit then. And as a fun fact, that's one fun fact about me. The highest interest rate I have ever paid was on that car. And it was approaching 30%. It wasn't exactly 30, but it was very close. It could smell the shampoo coming off the hair of 30%. And at the time, for it was almost 10-year-old car, I had like a $300 car payment on my used car, full coverage insurance. I was making $7 an hour. It was just a mess.
But you said you were able to pay it off in 3 years.
Absolutely. I've never paid a car off to full term. I always paid it off early, and I said it ended just as bad as it started. When I was buying my first house, I was actually in the car with my friend, and the lady ran a red light in front of a deputy sheriff, and literally after she hit me, the front wheel was like this. Like, I had to fight the steering wheel to drive it off the road because the wheel was just knocked in. She just destroyed the front end.
Man.
Yep.
I think it was just the front end, though, not like where you were sitting, right?
It was weird because she hit us really hard.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't even spin around.
Oh, us? So there was more people in the car?
Yeah, it was me and my buddy who was in the car.
Man.
I had to do something. I was just taking him home and just pow right on the main road, just right there.
But you still had full coverage?
Mm-hmm.
No, you didn't.
At that time, the car had been well paid off, but they just told me that it wasn't my fault anyway.
Right. Which Florida's no fault state anyway.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let's do a little self-reflection question.
Okay.
So what's your favorite thing about yourself?
My favorite thing about myself is being the go-to guy. I like to be the go-to guy. When you absolutely need a W, I like to be that guy. Back in the day when we were in the prison, we used to ask, like, new officers, like, hey, you want to be the guy that people are very happy to see coming around a corner while the rubber is meeting the road, because they know you're coming to make things better in any capacity whatsoever. So I like being the go-to.
Okay, cool. Opposite of that, what makes you feel insecure about yourself?
It's when in the process of being the go-to guy, sometimes I will get totally unproductive, totally hung up on little nagging things, and it will totally distract and derail any of my progress. It has happened editing videos, like you name it, just trying to do things, just getting hung up on the little stuff.
Is it like a perfectionism thing?
Kinda, yeah, but I'm not a perfectionist. I used to think I was, but I just think it's just easily distracted. Okay. You know what I mean? Because I'm always trying to take in so much, but when I get easily distracted, that's not really a bad thing. But when it just, sometimes it will just stop progress. Right. Because it's like now I've forgotten what I was even doing because I started looking at something. You know what I mean? I'm looking up a recipe for cake. Next thing you know, I'm telling my wife how many rings Saturn has in it because I clicked the link and now I'm just falling down the rabbit hole. Right. Yeah, I'm rabbit hole prone. It's bad.
Going back to aging ourselves again, it's kind of akin to, if you remember back in the day, Sunday afternoon, you're getting stuff done and then you come across Bob Ross on TV. Oh, and then that was it.
That's it.
Your day's shot.
That's it.
Bob Ross pops up on the TV and you just spend the rest of the day.
And put a pleasant little bird. You know what I'm saying. Let's have some trees.
Rest in peace, Bob Ross. All right. So what's your wife's biggest pet peeve about you?
My wife's biggest pet peeve about me is, I'm not going to lie, I leave my stuff all over the place. It drives her nuts. She doesn't like it. The only stuff that she likes left all over the place is hers and the kids. For some reason, she has no problem with that. She has stepped on Legos and took it like a soldier. Wow. But she has seen my shoes off the shoe rack, and we have had to have serious talk. So, yeah, that's her thing.
Water bottles? I'm really bad with water bottles.
No. Not like food stuff. Just like my clothes and shoes and stuff, or like my electronics and stuff like that, because I have all that stuff, and, that drives her nuts.
Yeah, I'm really bad with water bottles. I mean, chugging waters in the office while I'm doing my editing or whatever, and just walk away, do something else, and then I hear from across the room, Richard.
Yeah, no, I take out all the trash, so I just do all of that. That's fine. She knows, like, food thing, that's not her thing, but God, she hates my shoes all over the place. Yeah. That's surprising that I actually have a lot more shoes than one would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, happiest moment in your life?
Oh, man, the birth of all my children. And marrying my wife. Definitely. Nothing tops those 4 moments.
All right. Biggest regret in your life so far, aside from the car?
My biggest regret in my life is that I never took a leap of faith while I was young enough and unattached enough to do so. Like, I never went away to school. I never took myself and put myself in the situation of make it or fail. I think that really it can test you. It will test your mettle, and I think it makes, if your character permits, it can make a good man great. You know what I mean? So that's, I think.
Okay, well, seeing where your life is now, you're doing pretty good for yourself.
Yeah.
Chances are, had you maybe done things differently when you were younger and took that chance, you wouldn't be where you are now. So, how do you...
Well, I think about that, and I think I could have been worse. You know what I mean? Who knows? And I could have went to prison, but not as an employee, but as a resident.
Yeah.
Because you'd be surprised how easy it is to commit a felony. Like, sometimes people commit felonies and don't even know it until now you're convicted. But then I also think, if I would have went out, what circles would I have moved in? You know, given my personality, who would I have established relationships with, and where would my life be that might be X amount of steps above where I am? So I don't know. I kind of try to reconcile it, but then I just realized it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yep.
I'm exactly where I needed to be right now. It's the sum of all my choices. I'm really big on choice.
Okay. So, choices. If you could choose to live anywhere besides the U.S., where would it be and why would you live there?
Besides the U.S., out of the country, I've been to 9 countries. I would probably, maybe, it would be out of Paris or England. Because I've been to Paris, I had a blast there. But in English, I speak the language. So, it would have to be one of those. I'll say England.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say England, because I can take a train to Paris.
So when you were in Europe, did you experience any of the issues people say they have, where they kind of lift their nose to? No, they're good.
They were awesome. And if you ever go to Paris, they are big on manners. You walk into a room, you say bonjour, you greet people before you start speaking to them. You know, if it's evening, bonsoir. And in some cases, if you don't, they will not address you. They won't speak to you. Especially, A, you're not speaking in their native tongue, and B, you haven't even shown just basic politeness.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're really big on that. And it was pretty awesome. I mean, I've heard some horror stories, but I did not have an issue at all whatsoever.
So would you say maybe that reputation isn't necessarily based in fact, but based more in maybe people going over there and not addressing people properly and then just being, yeah?
Absolutely. Too many people take vacations and go to different places, even places in the United States, and they don't really take a lay of the land. You know what I mean? There are certain things that, you know, go on a certain way. So like let's say you go to Japan, right? Like I know JP Knowledge went to Japan. They put him on the 44th floor of I think it's Park Hyatt Tokyo. The number 4 is extremely unlucky in Japan. It's extremely unlucky. You don't give anybody 4 of anything. You don't do anything. But that's a custom thing. That's something you look up before you go there. You know what I mean? And I looked up, how do I move about in Paris? Let me look. Anywhere you go outside of the country, if they do not speak your native tongue, learn how to say hello, goodbye, please, and do you speak English? And you'd be surprised how useful just those 4 phrases are.
And where's the bathroom?
Oh, yeah. Normally, if you... No, you can't really point to your junk. They might take that one. But yeah, that's a good one.
You might end up in a completely different...
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good 5th player there.
So basically, if you're traveling internationally, take Sledge's advice and do your research.
All the time.
All right. So, dark question. Worst possible way to die? Drowning. Now, last time we did this, we went a little bit back and forth. You think that's worse than both burning and from like falling from extreme heights, like going down in a plane?
Absolutely. When you burn, if somebody coated me with gas and set me on fire, by the time all my nerve endings burn, I'll still die, but I won't feel a thing. If I were to fall from a plane at 35,000 feet, it would only suck until the moment of impact.
That's a long time back.
I mean, hey, you know, I can, you know, make one with my bird spirit animal. It is what it is.
But I did think of a new one. Being eaten. I mean, that's a long, slow, painful process.
That's definitely worse than drowning.
That's worse than drowning? I got it. All right.
You got
Being eaten.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Because even as you drown, you lose consciousness.
Right.
And, you know, because I thought about it, and there is a bit of tranquility once you lose consciousness anyway. But being eaten, you're awake for that whole deal.
Yeah. Because you're like a bear.
Oh, it's just awful.
Yeah, it's bad. And on that note, so when you are lying on your deathbed, right, and you're looking back at your life, what would you have had to have accomplished for you to feel like at peace, like I did what I needed to do, and I'm happy and I'm ready to go?
I would need to feel as though I seen my children off and made sure that they were productive members of society. And insofar as that they can stand on their own too, that they can have fully independent lives and still maintain relationships with each other and their mom and this and that, whatever. That is my end goal, is to produce better humans.
All right. Okay, so we have a question from Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Matt wants to know, with the moves Amex has been making this year, is it a good idea for someone to dive into them for the first time, especially if they're not sure that they're going to use them as keeper cards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Amex because Amex personifies it's the company is just one big value proposition, right? They will charge for their cards, and rightfully so. Their name is synonymous with luxury and high spenders. I am also somebody who is of the adverse thinking that there's no problem with your first card being an annual fee card. Because if you don't take advantage of the annual fee, the failing's not in the card, it's in you.
Right.
You knew what you had to do. When we pay these annual fees, we prepay for all of the services. At this point, the ball's in your court. You want to recoup that value, you better get with it. The only caveat to that is that if you don't have a clear plan, not just Amex, you shouldn't be with any credit card issuer whatsoever. Even if they don't have an annual fee, have a clear-cut plan. As far as keeper cards go, I like to center that around what you spend money on the most, not everyone's conventional thinking. Oh, I get 2x on everything. That's great. But what if you don't spend a lot of money? What if you spend all your money on restaurant food? Like truck drivers, they eat out a lot, right? Okay, so their catch-all might be a gold card and not a Chase Freedom Unlimited. You know what I mean? So that's how I think about things.
Do you have any annual fee cards that have credits that you're not actively using?
No,
I
prioritize those.
Yeah.
Over and above the non-annual fee. I'll let a non-annual fee credit slip or perk slip before I let one that I've already prepaid for. Other than that, I'm leaving money on the table.
Do you find it hard sometimes to use the Amex $10 food credit?
Never.
You grab them a lot?
Actually, right here, where we are, I earn anywhere from 200 to 500 points a day. Because in the office, I buy lunch. Everyone reimburses me. 500 a day, 2,500 a week, 10,000 a month, just by buying lunch at the office that I'm not paying for per se, is enough for me to take my wife to Europe.
Nice. So do your coworkers know what's going on when that happens?
Absolutely.
They
They actually support it.
And they don't mind?
Yeah.
They're not like, why am I going to give you points? I'll just get the card and get it myself?
Because the best part is I actually go get the food and bring it back. So they never have to leave their desks, and then hot food is coming, and it's from somebody that they know and they trust, and they don't have to give me a tip.
Gotcha. Okay, so if that's the case, then do you ever do the you fly, they buy thing? Do they buy you lunch sometimes since you're the one going to get it?
Every so often, but I never asked them to.
Yeah.
Because sometimes my wife actually packs lunch for me. So if I'm already eating, like, no one has to buy me anything, but I have no problem being a delivery driver.
Yeah.
You know, I drive an electric, so I'm not burning any gas. So I just zip over there, get it. Everybody gets you the money. Everyone's happy.
Nice. So do you have any active cards that you're not using? Like any cards that you haven't used in, let's say, I don't know, over 6 months?
The one that comes to mind is my Fidelity Rewards card. It's a 2% card, 2% cashback card from Fidelity Investments that I use because the 2% I can actually convert to points and put into my daughter's college fund and into my retirement accounts. I haven't used that because I got it to do my insurance renewals for my car. But other than that, pretty much No. Everything's gotten... The Fidelity card is the only one I've really had to concentrate.
And how many cards do you have?
Over, right about 30-ish.
Wow.
Maybe a little over 30.
So you're actively using 29 cards, no problem.
At least once every 6 months, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. And you're using your car insurance to put your daughter through college.
Absolutely. Yeah. I do it all.
Nice. Okay. So, final question for me.
Mm-hmm.
Most important question. Actually, scratch that. 2 final questions.
Okay.
Of equal importance.
Okay.
Rose or classic?
Oh, classic all day.
100%. But you live in a split household.
Yes, I do. My lovely wife. She is, number one, she's a huge fan of CJ, and she's a huge fan of the rose gold. She just thinks it is just tops. And as a matter of fact, when I met with CJ, that's what the two of them talked about, is their rose gold cars. And I'm just like, whatever. But yeah, I'm definitely OG classic, but we live in a house divided where our gold cards come into play.
Yeah. Okay. And the last question. Boxers, briefs, or go commando?
Boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs.
Yeah, boxer briefs. Go. All day.
There you go.
All day long.
All right, man. Well, is there anything that you'd like to say to the audience?
Well, first of all, I would like to say there is nothing better than collaborations. And in addition to that, please check out my man Richie. He's great. I'm going to share this on my channel. It's funny that we actually were from the same area. We're some of the same people.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, community. That's why I like collaborations, because we have a special community here with a lot of special people, and you never know what you're going to learn from someone else. So never, ever discount that channel that only has 14 subscribers, and never put all your eggs in a basket in the one that has 14 million, because at this point you kind of playing a guessing game here. So I would say community, always be a part of the community. I met great people, met Richie on the Discord. I have multiple Discords that I'm a part of, and yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, chat. It was awesome. I gotta be honest, I'm kind of glad that the first video didn't turn out, because we got to do it again.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Good stuff. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
My absolute pleasure.
Guys, you're probably already on his channel. If you know who I am, you definitely know who he is. But always go check him out. Thank you for checking me out. Don't forget to do the like and subscribe thing.
Yeah.
And,
I always forget that part.
Yeah. I feel weird doing it. But that's it, guys. Thanks. I appreciate your time. Come back, and God bless.